Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Lunar Orbit podcast, where I provide timely updates and fresh thoughts on the Terra Lunar ecosystem. My name is Gerry, and today is Friday, the 25th of February, 2022. In today's episode, I want to talk about Redacted 3, the $1 billion Bitcoin raise, the Levana Mini games, an update on the Mars Lockdrop, and general talk about Lunar and how it's leading the entire crypto market at the moment. Okay, let's get into it. So as mentioned previously on some of the other pods, the Redacted 3 did end up being a $1 billion private token sale to help denominate and back out UST. So this had been rumored for several months and it's finally dropped. So here's some of the initial details on it. There's been quite some heavy investment from some prominent VCs in the space, but it sounds like this hasn't finished yet. There's going to be more coming, guys, which is great because the Lunar Foundation Guard still has quite a lot of Lunar in their kitty. So I'm expecting that they're going to be either minting more stable coins, possibly to back out the Vertex protocol, or they might be selling it for other assets that they're going to use to help back UST in times of at a big unwind. If that was to ever happen, people might want to sell Lunar and sell UST into another asset, and now they'll be able to do that into Bitcoin. But potentially there could be a basket of assets that help underpin this entire ecosystem. So that's been very, very bullish. This article here from theblockcrypto.com goes into the details. These guys announced it first. So feel free to read into that. That's very interesting, getting all the details out. And one thing that really interested me was this tweet here by Pedro, stating that the average buy-in price that these VCs got at was at $51.35. So they haven't got in at much of a discount to the current market price. In fact, you could buy Lunar about a day ago for less than this amount. And these guys have a 4-year vesting period. So you can see the whales wallets here and how much they've bought up. But that's super bullish for the ecosystem because these guys are going to have a long-term time horizon on this, and they've bought in at $51 on average. So you could almost deduce that this has a natural price floor now of $51 thereabouts. It's a bit like Michael Saylor buying up Bitcoin. From memory, the last average buy-in that he got with MicroStrategy's borrowed funds to buy Bitcoin was at $37,000 for Bitcoin. So it helps provide a price floor. It sort of sets the bar that institutions will look towards and go, okay, other VCs, other smart money have bought in at this price. So if the price ever, returns to these levels, it's probably a good buying opportunity. And as retail investors, this is all out in the open, so we can do the same thing. Very, very bullish. And the market has responded, which I will talk to a little bit towards the end of the pod. The next thing I wanted to talk about was going into the details a little bit more on Levana's mini games. I've mentioned in previous pods about Levana and how they have basically a play to earn their airdrop dynamic. Okay, so as you can see and hear in the background here's a demonstration of the Levana mini game side scroller, which is a very Mario Brothers-esque. It's called Salim's Adventure. It's a whole lot of fun to play and it just works natively in your browser. Really smooth experience. You just connect your wallet, have to have a Levana NFT in your wallet to play. But apparently some people have been able to finish this game in about 15 minutes. Took me much longer than that. I reckon I must have died about 10,000 times. But awesome fun, very nostalgic Mario Brothers vibes. And I really enjoyed giving this a crack. So the other mini game that they've got out is more of a text-based lore adventure game within their Discord. So you have to connect to your Discord, verify your wallet, so to prove that you hold the asset and this can't be gamed and botted basically. And this looks cool as well. I haven't gone through it myself fully yet, but it's a really good way to reward people who are active in the ecosystem. And that's what they want. They want people that are invested in this both emotionally and financially. So if you want to actually earn the airdrop, get involved. It could be quite lucrative. Not financial advice, of course. But just wanted to raise that on people's radars to get involved while it's available. Okay, guys, moving right along. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was just a really quick update on the Mars Lockdrop. It's creating an awful lot of hype at the moment. This is just a screenshot I took an hour or so ago, and you can see there's $48 million already locked up in here to try and basically get some of this initial offering of the Mars token. So just to reiterate how this works, you would come in and lock your UST. You've got about a day left to do so. You've got the last 2 days where you can withdraw the UST if you change your mind. But the amount of UST that you lock up and the time period that you choose to lock it up for, anywhere between 3 and 18 months, will determine how much Mars you get on the 7th of March when the protocol launches. Actually, I think you get it on the 28th of Feb if you want to participate in phase 2, but you won't be able to sell it directly until the 7th of March. So really cool. I think a lot of people have had their eyes opened by the massive returns you can get if you lock this for the full 18 months. It's like a 14.5 multiplier. So that's probably what I'll be doing. I'll be locking it up for the longest time possible to get the most amount of Mars up front that I can. So you've got about a day left, guys. So get involved if you want to. Otherwise, you're going to miss out and you're going to have to come in and provide either Mars or UST, essentially market buying it without really knowing what the exact price is yet. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was Lunar in general. It's leading the market. We've had a lot of market turbulence in the last 48 hours with the events in the Ukraine with Russia invading. So the market took a bit of a hit. However, as I mentioned in the last pod on Tuesday, that it looks like Lunar, its price had bottomed relative to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's played out this week. It's gotten stronger and stronger against those two. You can see if you're watching this on this chart here, the blue line is the UST price, but in Bitcoin and Ethereum terms, it's gotten stronger and stronger as the week has gone on. So it's very bullish. Some of the reasons for this is obviously the redacted news with the Bitcoin raise. That would definitely be a part of it. You've also got possibly people trying to mint UST to get into the Mars Lockdrop. But just in this 24-hour period here, 2.5 million Lunar was burned. So 2.5 million UST would have been minted. That could have been a bit of a flight to safety with the market turbulence, but also the fundamentals of Terra getting stronger and stronger. If we have a look at the Terra.smartstake.io analytics page, you can see the raw data here. So yeah, 2.537 million Lunar was taken out of the circulating supply in that 24-hour period, going from here to here. So it's getting burned all the time. Things are looking bullish again. You can see the last sort of fortnight, things have really picked up. The first week of this was the burn to shore up the anchor reserves. So there was 500 million Lunar burned into backing the yield reserves for anchor. But you can see it's continued. The demand has continued. So that's super bullish that there's organic demand for UST because, as you know, more UST equals less Lunar. And finally, the last thing I wanted to mention is we've got another exchange listing here. So this week it's Bittrex. Bittrex is now listing UST. So it's happening, guys. All the majors are getting in on UST. It's getting its hooks in everywhere. And this is how over time UST's market cap will grow to be bigger than the other main stable coins being USDC, DAI, it's already flipped DAI, and then of course Tether USDT. So those two coins are backed out 1-to-1 by banks. And as we've seen more recently, that's a big risk, especially when you have things like Canada coming out saying that they can and they will freeze people's accounts. They even froze people's accounts for simply participating in a fundraising event to support the anti-vaxxers campaign in Canada. And they basically said that they're going to go after these people, which I think is quite disgraceful. And this is a real issue with centralized entities and governments getting involved with our finance system. So UST provides a decentralized alternative, and it gives us, control over our own destiny financially again. That's why I'm so bullish on the ecosystem. And as I've said, the market is starting to understand this, I think, and it's starting to get priced in again. So while the rest of the market's getting wrecked, Lunar's been a shining light, and it's great to see because it's getting more and more traction and stronger every day. Okay, guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and feel free to share this with your family and friends. And thanks very much for watching.